Hey, you guys, and welcome to the Steele Wars Hyperchat. It is Thursday, the 28th of January, 2021. Sadly, you guys, Corey is busy with big life things that he's got going on, so no Corey Thursdays today. Although I could be him for a second. Oh, hi guys, I've got scoops. Have you heard about the return of fan favorite bounty hunters in upcoming Star Wars stories? Well, Steele's going to talk about it later on. All right. So, yeah. All right. Corey out. All right. Thanks, Corey. He did have time to join us. What's going on, everyone in the chat? Hey, to everyone watching live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, listening on to the podcast. This will be a Patreon all access audio. So it'll be in the normal iTunes feed. If you want to get podcasts like this in your ears, Monday to Thursday, often Friday as well. $3. Steele Wars. Patreon. Patreon.com/Steele Wars, plus 700 other episodes. Interviews with Ben Mendelsohn and all types of good people. Steve Stanton, Sam Witwer. Fans from around the world. What is going on? Hey, first things first. Yesterday, I suggested you guys go listen to the Sisters with Sabers latest podcast. I still suggest that. You can hear my suggestion and why you should listen to it on yesterday's episode, which I renamed The High Republic Show Debuts and People Suck. So, but highly recommend you checking out Sisters with Sabers every week. But this week, you might find particularly enlightening. On that note, those guys, along with the Katana cast, they're very associated podcasts. They have got a GoFundMe going called There Are More of Us. I'll just read it out. It's really nice. The opening quote is, "We had each other. That's how we won, Lando Calrissian." Recently, some of the ugliest parts of Star Wars fanbase have reared their heads in a targeted harassment campaign against the High Republic show's host, Christina Ariel. These messages and threats were specifically designed to demean, demoralize, intimidate her for no other reason than daring to be a visible black woman in our fandom. And I will link that below, but they are raising money for the Loveland Foundation. It's a non-profit organization offering access to therapy and other mental health services to communities of color, particularly black women, girls, cis or trans, who might not have access to the benefit of these services. Otherwise, 100% of these donations will go to this cause. I am copying and pasting, and I am posting in the comments now. If anyone wants to drop a super chat, I will donate that amount along with a donation from me from the podcast. So we're not really a super chatty type show. They're great when they come, but listen up. Today, if you want to do it, I will put all those super chats to the There Are More of Us fundraiser. So, sorry, the chat sort of stopped for a second, and I didn't know what happened to everyone. Let's talk about what we were going to talk about yesterday. The Writers Guild of America West, the WGAW, had an interview with one of their members, Jon Favreau, called The Way. Jon Favreau on what it took to bring The Mandalorian's Baby Yoda to life, Season 2's stunning season finale, and why to him writing is still the hardest and most rewarding discipline. Let's go down to, you guys should check this out. It's at wga.org. This is probably the most interesting bit. The question reads, did you have this arc planned out from the very beginning? Specifically, was the appearance of Luke Skywalker revealing that the story was essentially a few years after Return of the Jedi always a set idea from the jump, or something that you arrived on after working with the material? No, the story unfolded as I wrote it. The Mandalorian inherits a great deal from existing Star Wars stories, and when I write, that context is always a consideration. It became clear within the established continuity, certain things were likely to transpire. Are you concerned, having placed the story right in the midst of the saga, with the latest films having revealed Skywalker's future, that you are at all penned in narratively? He says, we have tremendous amount of freedom afforded to us because of the gap in time between the films. Dave Filoni and I are in a constant discussion regarding how each story choice is impacted by and would impact existing Star Wars material. So it's very interesting because the Mandalorian does seem like it's so plotted out. You know, you look at the hint of Boba Fett and the return of Fennec Shan in Chapter 5, The Gunslinger, starring Jake Carnival as Toro Calican. Think back to that great episode. And, you know, they seeded what led into a whole other television series. I read a tweet. Elijah Neal, good point. Wow, it totally seems like they're retconning the sequels. Listen, there's people that make tweets and posts and YouTubes that, you know, they're so they want to they sort of report what they would like to happen. And then they sort of work out a way that could happen, and they're not retconning any films, you guys. You know, they might bend and lean. You know, I hope they don't do any more. Like, you know, I talk about the rise of Skywalker with the Rey heritage. But yeah, I saw a tweet sort of like saying, "Oh, it's fine not to have a plan when you like what happened." Like someone was sort of defending the sequel trilogy, but I sort of, you know, and I'm not sure who he's virtually arguing with. You know, it could be, you know, I'm a moderate, you know, but the thing about them adding, like Favreau adding on the Skywalker part of the story, compared to the juggling of the storyline in the sequel trilogy, is Favreau's one dude. It's all in his, like, its head. Like, it evolves like it's an evolution, you know, much like it was for George Lucas. It's not like a redirection. So yeah, I feel like they're very different. Brian Bailey says, I cannot stand the retcon agenda. Cannot stand it at all. It's just one of those things. Like, I remember when, you know, people were certain that, like, Rey and Kylo Ren were brother and sister. So if they hooked up, it would be like incestual. Like they went on about that for so long based on like a false belief. And I never saw I remember there was one guy that was always going on about it. Never came back. I never heard from him again saying, oh yeah, I was wrong about that. But yeah. So that is a pretty cool bit of action. Here's a little Justin DeRoche says, are they retconning the sequels or adding context? Filoni splaining. It's all splaining. Like, the prequels were Lucas splaining. It's So this just came out on IGN. You guys, wait there. I'll get another screen up. Application window. Let's go with that. Doing some technical work here as we go. No, that's the one I want. IGN had an exclusive report. Yakface had hinted that this was going down. It got executed in a totally different way. But Hasbro is celebrating Lucasfilm's 50th anniversary with a new line of Star Wars figures that blend modern detailing with vintage styling. Check out our exclusive preview of the first 3. And I've posted this up with a no buys or good use of the license. Okay, chat. This is it. This is what the chat's about. Let's get in the chat. Are these no buys or a good use of the license? They are a bizarre meshing of vintage styling, like sculpting and vinyl capes in a Black Series format, but it's like a hybrid. How do I get this in a bigger deal? Maybe I can't. Oh, full screen. Bang. And then it doesn't go. No, but I want the next image. You're killing me. Okay, here we go. I got to say, the plastic around, we're on Greedo, the plastic around the figure spoils the vintage look because, you know, when you were little, it didn't have that bubble around it and you went straight through to the sort of basic color, the orange bubble behind. So there's Greedo. With a little removable cape. Oh, we're getting a lot of good use. We're getting a lot of good. Oh, okay. Elijah Neal says, we know what Corey would say. Oof. Ledra's and no buys from me, but I know people will like these. Looks just like Ewan McGregor. It's a figure of Alec Guinness. It does look a lot like Alec Guinness, I think. Greedo is a must buy, says Justin. Oh, bouncing back. Sam Clean says, I remember a comic that said Palpatine made Anakin with Shmi through the Force. But after Trosh, the comic writer said it wasn't meant to be like that. Maybe because the Reylo kiss would seemed incestuously. Hey, let's not forget Empire Strikes Back Medical Center. Anyway. No, it was a nightmare. It was like, I think it was Anakin's nightmare that Darth Sidious was his dad. But yeah, it was. I don't think it was a good execution of what they did to get across that message. But I don't think that's like a retcon or anything. Okay, Justin is kidding about must buying the Greedo. And then we've got so there's Obi-Wan, and it's so weird if you just listen to the podcast. He's got molded. Oh, and you can click a link to go watch the YouTube. It's in the show notes. He's sort of got the molded cloak, but then the vinyl cape on top of that, which, yeah, I'm not feeling. It's not like, it's almost like a hybrid of like 90s style figures and the Kenner figures with the molded cape. And then the Jawa. Have we not seen enough Jawas? Come on. And he's got a cloth cape instead of the far more fan favorite vinyl cape. But yeah, the Jawa, like we just had a Jawa. Anyway, I'm not into them. I am not into them. I am begging Hasbro to keep going with that retro line that they did for the Mandalorian. So we will see, but it's a no buys. A no buys from me. All right. What else we got next? Oh, I tell you what is buys. Let's go. Sweet plug, segue. It's happening. You know it. Mercho store on sale, $9.95. Tons of tees. If you want, so there's all classic tees, your Snoke 3 Sucks, shill content, all that good stuff. Oh, there are some, it's not on this opening sheet, but there are some Chicago sports reference t-shirts as well with that Jordan design. So they're all $9.95. But if you want new t-shirts, this slide is very frustrating how it's not moving when I want it to. Come on, new t-shirts. There we go. Bang. Click on that. It will take you to below the collar. All the links are in the thing. And here's all the new tees. Sith and Destroy. We're not giving this one enough action. Sith and Destroy. I got to order one of those for me. Sizzle time. Damn right. Damn right. It is not easy to juggle all the things I do during the day. So a few merch sales helps things out. You know what I'm saying? All right. How do we get Nike to make Darth Maul sneakers? Well, they're laced up with Adidas right now. They've never done Nike Star Wars. They've done Vans. They've done Adidas. I think they've done Keds. They've done a few. They've got that British company that sort of all their shoes are sort of all natural. Can't remember what they're called, but they're still current. Never Nike. Never Nike. However, Nike SB have done a few Star Wars inspired colorways. There was I think, was there a Boba Fett dunk and there was a Jedi dunk that was like the color of Luke in Return of the Jedi, and the laces were bright green. They were sick. They were sick. James Waterman says, with your logo, of course. Oh, that could be tough to organize. LRM Online, who are pretty reputable when it comes to scoops, says the surprise announcement of the Book of Boba Fett shocked fans around the Star Wars universe. Fans were already happy with Fett's return in the second series of Mandalorian, so it was an added bonus. Hey, his return was in the first series. You know what I'm talking about. Hawes knows what I'm talking about. Am I saying, have I been saying Nike instead of Nike? Brian Bailey's teasing me. Can you say Nike again? Dude. How's it? I went into, before this, I had to go to Ralph's to do some shopping, which is harrowing. So much cleaning and anyway, I needed to get some Nutella because Jackie's on a Nutella tip at the moment, and I had no idea where it was in the Ralph's, and I had to so concentrate on not going, "Where's the Nutella? Where's the Nutella, mate?" I was like, Where's the Nutella? It was that Nutella. So I worked on it. And Leidra says, Nutella. I'm not into it. Too nutty. Too nutty. So back to this. So it was an added bonus to see that he was getting his own series. Production on the show had started late last year and is in process of wrapping up principal photography. Besides the announcement of the series, there hasn't been any other information regarding the story or casting. This has led to speculations of how involved the Book of Boba Fett will be in the Mandalorian universe. Our sources told us that there will be some fan favorite bounty hunters appearing in the Book of Boba Fett. So it's sort of most fans have speculated that Boba will be building his own criminal organization similar to the Hutts and Crimson Dawn. That will mean he will need some assistance from his old crew. So I think it's twofold. It is a very vague lead that our source has told them, but it's kind of obvious, or it's not that surprising that we could get some classic bounty hunters. I'd like to have like Dengar Bosk, like an animated Bosk, like a modern boss talking would be just so dope. I reckon we might get all of them from Empire, because in the Mandoverse, they're here to serve. They're here to serve the fans. And, you know, Cad Bane, as Sam brings up, would be pretty interesting. I'm okay on Cad Bane. I went up and down, but he's not bad. He's not bad. So there's that. Oh, I don't want to start some Twitter feud here, you guys. But listen, Nerdist, at Nerdist, they've put up a volatile tweet today, and I'm going to address it. It's one of those little memey things. No one, nothing. Star Wars, Ewoks in the snow. And there's this picture of Ewoks, Kanisa, Wicket, is that Pablo? Playing in the snow. And as I replied, what was my little reply? I dispute the no one claim. And then other people have joined me. We've got Mark from Pink Milk. We've got Sal Perales. They're joining me as people that want to see Ewoks in the snow. But what these Ewoks in the snow is all about is an upcoming book from Carvin Scott. Celebrate the Star Wars Galaxy's greatest holiday with Life Day Treasury exclusive. It's an exclusive reveal. And I think I should just read it, but it's 8 stories coming out in a book September 7th. With stories about holiday stories from a galaxy far, far away. Life Day Treasury is an idea that Cav had been talking about for some time, and I'd always thought it'd be a brilliant book. We both love Christmas tales, from spooky fireside ghost stories to heartwarming winter fables, and it seemed like such a good fit with Star Wars. Now, listen, there's a picture of Ewoks in the snow, and there's this big creature behind them. That's a turn it. That's an immediate turn it. I've got to be checking this out. Mr. Top Dog 86 says Ewoks, not a fan. Woo! Woof. Jeez. Sam Queen, I love how Life Day is becoming less taboo. Jason, Bino, did I just get here? I miss anything? Oh, dude, you missed 23 minutes of content. Lidra, it's easy to miss. She says, oh my gosh, laugh my ass off. Inlighters, do I even know how to look at things? How did I miss the huge guy in the background? All right, Justin DeRoche, Ewok blinking is the only good thing to come from the special editions. All right. User on timeout. 5-minute timeout for that. Blinking Ewoks is just a crime. And they weren't in the special editions. It was a Blu-ray edition. All right? When I went to see Return of the Jedi in the cinemas, Return of the Jedi special edition, sorry. Sure, the Sarlacc had a beak. Bark, bark, bark. Sliced Noodles was licking the camera, but those Ewoks weren't blinking. Those Ewoks weren't blinking. So, Justin, you're done, son, for 5 minutes. Brent, you're my boy. Blinking Ewoks is freaking creepy as hell. Terrible. Jordan Taylor says, I actually saw Caravan of Courage at the cinema, as did I. And, hey, if we're talking Caravan of Courage, I'm going to do a plug. Wait there. I don't talk about the old interviews enough. We have got Eric Walker, full interview. This is filmed live at the Scum and Villainy Cantina in Hollywood, California. God, I cannot wait to be allowed to go there again, see the squad. But we did an interview with Eric Walker, who played Mace in A Caravan of Courage for the 200th ep. Let's
photography. So, and I had the full script, so they didn't like just they weren't trying to be that secretive as you would think.
Yeah.
Like they were with the other stuff. I know on the second Ewok movie they were, I don't know why, but they were way more strict on the second Ewok movie. They even had the pages numbered, and you had to turn in the script.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but in the first.
So check that out. It's up on the YouTube page. Or if you're a patron, it'll be in the patron feed is the audio podcast. Hey, Talking Sith podcast says do a Caravan of Courage commentary with me. I'm busy now. All right. But I'm thinking about going back and doing some re-commentaries. We will see. We will see. James Waterman, man, I'm with you. I did it yesterday. Every so often during COVID, I drive past the Scum and Villainy in LA these days and breathe a sigh of relief. It's not closed down permanently. Hell yeah. I want JC to be pouring me a beer ASAP. I so miss tap beer. Oh, miss it. Anyway, I am going to wrap up. I feel like for today, this episode has gone on
long enough.
So, hey, honor the algorithm and like, subscribe if you want to support the continued production. $3 on Patreon. You get tons of audio content and extra video content. Check out Mercho Store. If you want to get a tee for just $9.95, I chuck in a ton of stickers. And all the new t-shirts are at belowthecollar.com. All the links are below. And I should also, let's just go back and plug the There Are More of Us fundraiser, which I will link in the show notes below and post in comments one more time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Hey, look after yourselves. Be good. I think we'll do an episode tomorrow. I was going to try have the next interview up, but it's just the week has been loaded with work. So we'll aim for next week for the interview with Star Wars on Direct. But the finished product's going to be very good. Video and audio. Subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Help the algorithm. And may that force be with you.